This is your weekly review. Alright folks, first up, let's discuss all upcoming releases for G.I. Joe Classified. Starting in May, we have Doc, Jinx, Night Creeper, Dreadnought Torch, Naugahyde, the Tiger Force 2-pack of Tripwire and Roadblock, the HMS and Techno Viper. Now some of these have already been shipped to customers over the last few days, but most will arrive in May. Then over to the July releases, the Cobra Ferret ATV and Ferret Scout, Retro Beachhead, Retro Eel, and the Retro Snow Serpent. In August, Night Force Shockwave and the Night Pursuit Cycle. For September, we're expecting the release of the Dragonfly Helicopter. This includes Wild Bill, Glenda, Night Force Ripcord, and Night Force Crazy Legs. Then over to October, Wreckage and the Tiger Paw ATV. As always, let's keep in mind that dates can and probably will change, and most of these will arrive sooner than what we just said. Then this fall, the Cobra Stinger. This is not confirmed, but we feel very confident that the Stinger will be released this fall. As for the other releases, Mad Marauder Sergeant Slaughter, the Mad Marauders 2-pack of Spirit and Lowlight, Alpine, the Iron Grenadier Bat, the Action Pilot, Action Marine, Retro Card Cobra Commander, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Raptor, the PulseCon exclusive Starduster, a deluxe version of Nemesis Immortal, and a deluxe version of Road Pig with a Pet. Then in January of 2025, we have Leatherneck, Xandar, Saw Viper, Dial Tone, Frag Viper, and Blowtorch. Then let's jump over to the 2024 Haslab. We believe the new G.I. Joe Haslab campaign will be announced as part of Yo-Jo June. Based on all indications so far, the Cobra Rattler is most likely, and it's also what we've maintained since early last fall. That said, as we pointed out every time that we've mentioned the Rattler, Hasbro can always pivot to something different. Although it's worth pointing out that based on their timelines in the past, they will likely be finished with the design phase of the new Haslab sometime soon if they haven't already done so by now. We'll find out for sure during Yo-Jo June. And until something changes, we maintain that the Cobra Rattler is the odds-on favorite for this year's Haslab. And before we move on, we invite you to quickly do us a favor and smash that like button to show your support for the show and the work that we put into it. Then let's jump over to Night Force. Keep an eye out for more Night Force figures to be released and announced later this year. Here at Viper Island, we feel very confident that there will be a Night Force 2-pack released later this fall with individual characters. This will not be a Troop Builder 2-pack. As we've covered extensively in the past, a lot of Night Force figures will feature reuse from existing figures. So the options for this 2-pack include Night Force Flint, Night Force Outback, Night Force Muskrat, Night Force Chuckles, Night Force Falcon, and Night Force Beachhead. Leave a comment down below with the 2 Night Force figures that you're hoping are included in this 2-pack. We've told you a few times already that we have reason to believe that Muskrat is in the 2024-25 pipeline for G.I. Joe. A Night Force variant could be a way to introduce Muskrat into the line. However, we maintain that the Night Force Outback and Night Force Flint will be joining the Night Force line very soon. Our only hope is that a Night Force Falcon has a brand new head sculpt. On the topic of Falcon, we have a mystery on our hands, folks. There is one mystery in particular which remains unsolved. No one has ever taken credit for sculpting Falcon. Nearly every other classified figure has been shown and discussed in great detail by the sculptor who helped create it, with the mysterious exception of Falcon. I wonder why. Perhaps someone, somewhere, has that one vital clue that can help solve a mystery. Perhaps that someone is watching. Perhaps it's you. Let's jump over to Raptor. We have some prototype images of the 2024 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Raptor. This is courtesy of Joey Finnell. This shows Raptor's head, falcon hood, and feathered shoulder wrap. There's also a pigeon with a neck joint for an articulated head. The head is missing, Raptor has a stoic look, and he has a mask over his eyes. We expect there will be a lot of reuse with Raptor's body. Reusing Zartan's torso could make a lot of sense. Maybe even parts of Zartan's lower half with either new boots or new feet. There could also be some reuse of Sergeant Slaughter's whistle here. Based on the small size of the pigeon, it does not have articulated wings. Some will have an issue with this, but let's be realistic. This pigeon is small, and at this size, Articulated wings are more likely to be breakable than larger-sized animal companions. And let's keep in mind that there could be more birds than just this pigeon. Raptor could include a cloth goods cape, which acts as his wings, although it seems like a lot of collectors are hoping for futuristic mechanical wings, and we've advocated for that several times as well. Whatever the wing situation is with Raptor, more than likely, it will match the feathered look of his shoulder wrap. Given that this will be a deluxe figure, we could assume that Hasbro has sculpted some feathered wings. At the same time, let's consider other recent San Diego Comic-Con exclusives like Chuckles and Dr. Mindbender. In both cases, those figures featured only a few small accessories, and the deluxe part of the figure was mostly the cardboard packaging itself. So before we all get ahead of ourselves, collectors should keep their expectations low for what comes with Raptor. Odds are, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Raptor will include a figure, cloth good wings, and maybe a few birds, all packaged in what Hasbro likes to call premium packaging, which is really just a fancy term for a cardboard box. Let us know in the comments if you're interested in Raptor and what accessories you're hoping are included. And if you're not interested in Raptor, let us know why. And tell us if there's anything Hasbro could do with Raptor to change your mind. Next, let's talk about the retro card Cobra Eel. There's been a lot of confusion and misinformation spread about what's different between the Cobra Eel and the retro card Cobra Eel figures. We've already highlighted some of the differences previously, but to get the full and complete answer and to put this matter to rest, we went directly to the source as we often do and asked the Hasbro team to clarify. Here's what they told us directly. The major change on the eel is the skin tone. The retro-carded skin tone is Caucasian, where the previous release had a darker complexion. Also, the logo on the backpack has been changed, and the red on the figure should be slightly brighter. Now let's stop for a moment. The first eel had the Cobra Eel logo on the backpack, whereas the retro-carded Cobra Eel has a Cobra logo on the backpack. As for the gray parts of the Cobra Eel, the Hasbro team has told us that there is no change to the shade of gray. So let's clear that up. The images released so far appear to be different from the original Cobra Eel. However, the Hasbro team tells us that that's not actually the case. Here's what they said. It could be lighting or a new batch of plastic. Even if specified the same color, when you create a new run, there can be a variance in the saturation and hue. Now, we've said this point ourselves several times in the past. It can often fall on deaf ears because the images do look different. It's very clear that the original images for the Cobra Eel were a little overexposed, and the retro card Cobra Eel images appear to have a dark contrast, and that does change the tone of the colors that we're looking at. Anyone who has experience with photo shoots will understand how lighting can drastically change how the colors appear. Some will argue this, but only the Hasbro team knows for sure what color types they used, so we will go with what our Hasbro sources told us. There's also one other difference in the retro card eel that wasn't mentioned here. The strap of the spear gun is blue this time instead of red. So just to wrap this up, the only changes to the retro card eel are as follows. This one has a Caucasian skin tone instead of the darker skin tone. The red on the outfit is brighter. There's a new logo on the backpack. The gray color should be similar or the same as the original. And there's a blue strap on the spear gun this time instead of red. That's it. That's all. So the good news here for collectors is that there is really no reason at all for anyone to feed the scalpers who loaded up and hogged a lot of the copies of the first version and are now trying to sell these for triple the price. The differences are very small and negligible, so the retro card eel is a very affordable option for anyone who's interested. Next, let's talk about Wreckage and the Tiger Paw ATV. This is just a quick note, but Wreckage has a remote control and no RC car. This can be one of the downsides of a lot of redecos and reuse, where it's not complete. That said, anyone can use their imagination and just assume that Wreckage has the remote control for explosive devices like we're seeing here in this image, with a big explosion in the background. Next, let's talk about a 3D printed Skyhawk. For those who enjoy 3D printed third-party work, an artist in Asia has designed and built a 1/12 scale G.I. Joe Skyhawk. It fits 6-inch action figures like G.I. Joe Classified. It features lighting in the cockpit's control panel, as well as some exterior lighting as well. The boosters have ratchet joints for articulation, and some assembly is required. This Skyhawk is 16.5 inches long and 9 inches wide, so this is a big, hefty vehicle. For the sake of comparison, the HISS tank is 19 inches long, only 2.5 inches bigger than the Skyhawk, and the Vamp is 13 inches long. Size-wise, this 3D printed Skyhawk is somewhere in between the HISS tank and Vamp. Closer to the HISS tank though. When pre-order details are released, we will let you know. Stay tuned to our community tab here on YouTube and to our Instagram page for more news and updates. And as always, we want your takes in the comments section. Today's Viper Island question of the day is, do you buy 3D printed vehicles? Why or why not? Let us know which camp you're in. And are you interested in a 3D printed Skyhawk, or would you prefer to wait for Hasbro to make a version on their own? We'd love to hear from the community and check in with you from time to time, so whatever your thoughts are here, sound off in the comments. My name is Liam. You can follow me on Instagram at Viper Island. For all things G.I. Joe, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you want to support the show, smash that like button. Until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, have a great day, and yo Joe!